I'm a first grade special education teacher, and right now I'm using the Good Vibration with 2 children. And the reaction I've gotten from both of them has been absolutely wonderful. The other children in my classroom also want to wear that all the time, and we have to talk about how different kids use different tools. And one of the little boys will have it on, and he will be working, and he will become off task, or he's very impulsive, and he will go to get up and get out of his chair, and all of a sudden you give him a quick vibration, and he looks at his watch, you realize it sits back down, grabs his pencil, and starts working again. It's wonderful. I don't have to call their name. They realize what's going on. They all take a look at the watch, they realize what just happened, and they get back to what needs to be done. For me as a teacher, I find that the fluidity of my lessons are able to continue much better. Often when you have a child that is distracting himself or others, you're being distracted yourself because you need to call their name. You need to get them back on track so that they can be focused and learning. And with the Good Vibrations, I can reward a child by doing the right job. And because my children are younger, sometimes I will also give them a thumbs up or a great big smile to give them that visual that they're doing a great job.
When people first hear about it, they don't quite understand what it does. And it is like a tickle vibration on your hand. He did not mind wearing the watch and got good results from it. So it was a positive thing for him to have it as a tool. Good Vibrations gives them some power over monitoring their behavior without attention being brought to them so that everyone in the class hears it, everyone in the class sees it. This is a private way to say, hey, you're doing great, or hey, you need to get back on task.
We're extremely pleased with the result. And I asked him what the other kids thought, and he said, well, they really were interested in it, and they all wanted to know how he got chosen, and why couldn't they be chosen, and that they wanted to touch it. And I think I know it made him feel really special. All the other issues aside, it made him feel really special to be wearing that bracelet, which is a good thing because so much of the time the ADHD is a negative, and this was a way to turn something that can be a negative attention getting into a positive attention getting. In the fall, we were doing trips to school at least once a week for forgotten spelling books, forgotten assignments, forgotten this and that, and it was really wearing on the family and on the principal, who doesn't believe in those things, understandably, and this cut that to 0. I mean, it's all part of the transitioning, stopping and thinking about transitioning, but that when you leave a situation, do you have everything you need? But that bracelet, I believe, helped Radcliffe also transition to focus, not just during the day, but at the end of the day, what he needed. Good Vibrations was about as good a behavior mod as you could get. I'd say to any parent, go for it. There, to me, was very little to no downside and only upside in terms of the potential for helping your child.
When I got positives, it felt really good because I started keeping on track, and usually at the end of the day I would try to get as much pluses as I could. But when I got a reminder, I would always look up and I would start to be smiling, like, oh yeah. My experience with it was really fun because not only was it sort of fun getting buzzed because it felt sort of tickled, but it kept me on track, and it was really, really helpful.